All right, it is Rasslin, Barstool's professional wrestling podcast with me, Brandon Walker, and today I get to look into I kind of get to look into the mirror because I've been married for 16 years, and I just absolutely am miserable every day. And now I've got a couple of people who soon will be miserable too, and right now they don't know it. Right now they're happy. Right now they're putting everything on YouTube, and there's a brand new YouTube show, Corey and Carmella, and it's fantastic. It's a look into the life of WWE's Corey Graves, and of course the most beautiful woman in WWE, Carmella. So, since that is, and welcome guys, thank you for joining.
Appreciate it. We are also looking forward to our impending misery.
Yes.
We're enjoying the honeymoon phase for now, you know?
The honeymoon phase. I think by the third day of my honeymoon, the honeymoon was over, and we still had 4 days left. So, if Carmella is the most beautiful woman in WWE, does that make you Mr. Beautiful?
I think so. I'm going to lean into that. I feel like that's an accurate representation of what I bring to the commentary table. So, yes, from here on out, I could be Mr. Beautiful.
Look at this face. Come on.
Mr. Yes. Mr. Beautiful shirts would sell, by the way. I'm just saying that out loud.
I appreciate it. I'll talk to our merch guys.
So, you guys are all over WWE programming, of course. Monday Night Raw. You know, you're one of the voices of Monday Night Raw. Carmella has been just a tremendous competitor in the women's division for a while now. Now you're transitioning into this. You're of course engaged to be married, but you're transitioning to the show, Corey and Carmella. How much of your life are you willing to put on camera here?
Too much.
I mean, have you seen the trailer? You see us in the shower. You see, I mean, we're bearing it all. We're not holding back, and that was our whole goal with this show. If we're gonna do a show, we want it to be authentic. We want it to be real. We don't want to have like written storylines and have it be like, well, say this and do that, and we're not holding back. What you see is what you got.
So if me and my wife were doing a reality show, it would basically be like 3 hours of her reading on the couch trying to avoid the kids and me hiding in the bathroom watching YouTube videos on my phone. Is that about what you guys are doing?
Yes, actually. We made sure that the cameras came during the one exciting week of our life and filmed us then, because ordinarily, yes, it is quite boring and uneventful.
So
that's not true.
No, the whole genesis of this started during the pandemic, actually, when just like everyone else in the world, we were bored out of our minds with way too much free time. And Carmella had the idea to start doing an Instagram live talk show, literally for no reason other than we were bored. And we thought it might be funny. And it kind of caught a little bit of traction. And some of the people that were listening were saying, hey, this should be a podcast. This should be a podcast.
Well, it caught a little traction because you said you didn't want to have sex with me.
I said something on Instagram Live where I was comparing our current romantic status because we had been locked in the same apartment with one another for about 2 weeks straight. And I said, much like a panda bear, I just didn't feel like breeding at the time.
Sure, yeah.
And some media outlets caught wind of that and liked to poke fun at it. So we just kind of leaned into it. And it turned into a podcast, which shortly thereafter we were approached about turning the podcast into a reality show, because our whole mindset behind this was, listen, it's 2022. Relationships, no two are the same, but I think we have a lot of the same problems that anybody in any relationship has.
Right.
And to just kind of chat about it and normalize it and not make everybody think that they're the only ones in the world that have issues with their partner.
So you were stuck in the apartment together, and you had low T for a minute, and you found a way to monetize that.
Exactly. If I would have thought that in advance prior to you saying it so eloquently, I probably could have capitalized a little more.
Not a big deal, but if we could just pause for just a second. Hey, producer, we can monetize low T? What the hell, man? What the hell? All right, just out here, man tits are flopping, and I haven't made $1. Whatever, doesn't matter. Not a big deal, not a big deal. So how far beyond your wrestling characters does this show go? When people watch Corey and Carmella on YouTube, how far beyond the ring or beyond your personas are we going to see?
Well, you see Corey on Monday nights, and he is a bad guy. He's a heel commentator.
I'm a dick.
Yeah, he's a dick.
I thought that was real.
It is. I just cranked the volume up a little bit on Mondays.
He can be, trust me, he can be. But you get to see a completely different side of him. You get to see, he's very sensitive, very, very sweet, romantic. You get to see him with his kids and, doing his daughter's hair for cheerleading practice, which I'm not sure a lot of people would have imagined that this is how Corey is in real life. So that part to me is really, I like the fact that people can get to know the person that I know that not many people know.
Yeah, I would say just compared to what you see on TV, that's just such a small portion of both of our personalities. Because on TV, we're playing characters, just like everybody in WWE. So we really kind of opened up the doors, and it is as authentic as about anything we've let the world see. I mean, we even going through the editing process, we're watching, and there were a few cuts where we went, I don't know if we want people to see that, if we want people to know about that. But we said, you know what, if we're going to do it, let's just go all in on it and see how it works. And so far, the feedback's been pretty awesome.
The biggest thing that I've seen that's such a stark contrast from the Carmella you see on TV is, oh my gosh, Carmella has such a potty mouth. The amount of bleeps that come on this show because of my potty mouth is insane. So I think it's funny that people are so shocked to hear that.
She keeps our censors busy.
So you cuss a lot.
A lot.
Like a sailor.
That's fantastic.
It's a problem.
Okay, well, as somebody who cusses all the time, I now am. I was going to watch a show anyway, but now I can't wait to watch a show because there's something about watching somebody cuss.
We got to make a drinking game out of it or something. Every time there's a beep, do a shot or something. Make the show even more fun.
No, I can't do drinking games. My ankle bracelet goes off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's move on a little bit. So, where am I at? Okay, idea. All right, for wrestling, because I know, and Corey, we'll get into it a little bit. There's been online and everything I've read that you're cleared to compete, and you've said in interviews, hey, when the time comes and when I get somebody over, we might explore that. But idea, are you ready?
With bated breath.
Okay, that was sarcastic. That's fine.
I'm not sure what that means.
I have an idea, and I'm about to give it to you, and you can take it to the WWE, and you can profit. A couples belt. You can only compete for the title. You can only compete for the couples belt if you are either engaged in a committed long-term relationship or married. Think about not even the storylines, the real-life storylines. What if the couples champion, they decide to get a divorce? Then they have to vacate the titles. Look how many things we can do with this.
I love it.
An intergender title.
It is steeped in reality.
Yes.
There are so many different dimensions. I love it. I think you might be onto something.
There's like 4 or 5 couples. I don't know. There might be more that I don't know about, but
there are
quite a few.
There are quite a few.
There's several.
We can form a division.
Naomi and
Edge and Beth, right?
Edge and Beth, Seth and Becky,
Bianca
and Montez. Yeah, there's definitely enough to have a few bangers in
there.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Well, careful about the bangers. I'm talking about wrestling. So we not the sex. Anyway, we could have a whole division here.
I love it.
We really could. More than our tag title division, that's for sure.
That's true. We have more couples in WWE than women's tag team, the actual tag teams. So
I mean, just
onto something here, man.
In 3 years, when WrestleMania is a 6-night event, main event in night 2.5 is going to be the couples belt. You guys defending against, I don't know, Naomi and the Uso guy. And
WrestleMania After Hours. There we go. Like Cinemax After Dark.
This is okay. You just took me back to 12 years old. Thank you, Corey. All right. Now I think my mom's hiding behind the door here, waiting to knock.
Get that flashback button ready, kid.
So, all right. Are you ready for a little some couples questions?
Definitely.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. Here we go. This is just to get in the mindset of where you guys are as a couple, because I don't know how long you've been engaged. I whatever. You guys will be married. You'll be married for a long time, and it's going to be great. Sure, you'll be the ones that reverse 50,000 years of marriage sucking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you go shopping together, how long does the trip last? If you two as a couple go shopping, how long does the trip last?
Are we talking like supermarket shopping or like the mall?
Okay, I am now cutting the question in half. Let's say you go grocery shopping. How long does that last?
I would say 1 hour.
An hour.
Okay, that's standard. So you can do that as a couple. You can do that. Now, if one of the wife or husband decides they want to stay in there for 3 hours, we got a problem. So you guys are on the same page. What about if you go to the mall, clothes shopping?
I would say an hour.
I think we've learned to go shopping individually. Because otherwise it could lead to conflict. Because once I have what I need, she shops on her own. When I need something, I usually just go to the mall and get in and out as fast as possible. So plus, thank God for Amazon.
We just shop on the internet now anyway, don't we?
Exactly.
I know. I never go to the mall anymore unless I have to go with you.
We've really become a nation of assholes. Anyway,
for real.
We don't go out together. We don't do anything anymore.
No.
All right.
No.
When you go to dinner, how long does it take for you two to decide where you're going to eat?
Oof.
Oh God. Definitely more than an hour.
Yeah, that's a half a day process.
Yeah.
We usually decide that we want to go out that night, and then we float ideas back and
All
forth
day.
and don't agree on anything until about the point where we're just like hangry, and then we usually just go back to one of the standard places we go all the time anyway.
All right, this isn't advice, but this is just me telling you your future. As you're engaged, that shit's cute. But when you get married, the third week, and it's all worn off and all the gifts are now starting to rot a little bit, and you say, where do you want to eat? And it takes a half day, both of you are going to hate each other. Good luck.
At least we're coming into this
normally
well prepared.
just leaves it up to me at the end of the day. I can make the decision.
All right, now, everything's been on the surface so far, but you said this thing takes you into all kind of situations, takes us behind the scenes of your life,
Indeed.
right?
Yes, sir.
Bathroom door, closed or open?
Always closed.
Only because he makes it that way. He's so weird.
So you're comfortable with the open bathroom door?
yeah.
She is very, very open. I need my privacy there.
won't
That is
even
the
fart in
one.
front of me.
That's the one sacred room in the house. That's right. To this day, we're engaged now. I have never farted in front of her.
I won't fart in front of my wife, but that's because she hit me with a frying pan. But anyway, true story, I didn't know women could fart till I was 19 years old.
I mean, trust me, I don't do that in front of him either. But, I mean, he's the dude in the relationship. I thought maybe he'd be able to,
I mean, I
feel
could.
comfortable
It's an
doing it in
option.
front of
I
me.
just choose to not partake.
I think it's very gentlemanly that he refuses to fart. That's an incredible, incredible thing. Let's
you,
see. It's Sunday afternoon, and you guys don't have a premium live event that night, and you don't have to travel till tomorrow. You've got all day. What do you lay on the couch and binge watch together? What's the one show you're going to binge watch?
Yellowstone.
Oh.
What'd you say?
Well,
I said The Office.
she said The Office, which is also a valid answer, but lately it's been Yellowstone. We've been on a strong Yellowstone binge for the past month and a half.
All right, let's break it down real quick. So, Carmella, who's your favorite Office character?
Michael Scott.
And
He's just
yourself,
so good.
Corey?
I would have to say Dwight. I'm a Dwight Schrute guy.
Dwight's the best character. Michael's a great character too. Creed Bratton though has the highest batting average, right? Like Creed Bratton, everything
Everyone
he says
loves
is funny,
Creed.
right?
He
Yes.
just gets to stick and move. That's
Yes.
the thing. You never get too much Creed. You always
You
just
always
get
want a
just
little
enough.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot like in your line of work. He's a lot like Ron Simmons, just showing up every now and then and saying "damn."
Oh, damn, you're
Totally.
exactly right. That's a great comparison.
That's all he has to do. Just show up, say "damn," and boom, pop, and
Yep, that's it.
You're batting 1,000. And Yellowstone. I haven't watched Yellowstone yet, even though I'm a 42-year-old white guy from the South. It seems like that is my
I
show.
believe it was made specifically for you.
It
You
was.
are the target demographic.
Yeah, it very
love
much
Kevin
was.
Costner.
I haven't watched it yet. Y'all like it?
It's fantastic.
So good.
Michael Cole is the one that actually hounded me for weeks. You got to watch this. You got to watch this. And just the concept of it wasn't particularly appealing to me. I'm not much of a country boy. I'm a city boy, so I didn't know how to relate to that. But by the second or third episode, we were both hooked, and it's to the point where we'd have to fight. Like, hey, you're going on the road or you're going to be on a flight. Don't watch Yellowstone. We got to stay caught up in the same place. So.
And then we realized that Kevin Costner is now my new hall pass.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. He's heard enough.
Carmella, can I just take a 20-second time out there? Kevin Costner is at least 65 years old.
I know. Well, I'm 34 now. I feel like, okay, I'm at that point where I can like the guy or like his dad,
Hall pass. Kevin Costner wouldn't even be able to make it down the hall.
He doesn't need to walk down the hall. He just needs to be,
All right, fine. Jeez. All right. Who's yours, Corey? Is it R.I.P.? Is it?
It's also Kevin Costner.
I was gonna say, was it Betty White? Good Lord. Hall pass. Kevin Costner. All right, whatever. And you're not a city boy. You're from Pittsburgh. That's as country as a city can be.
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
as far as city, yeah, you're right. As far as being, I'm not like a city boy, as in I don't know how to function when I see grass. I don't have the full outdoors. I don't hunt. I'm not like that sort of outdoorsy. But yeah, I mean, within 15 minutes of Pittsburgh city limits, you can be in like the middle of nowhere. So I'm a little well versed.
I'm from 200-acre farm in Mississippi, and all my family hunts, and I never hunted. I never got into it, and my family thinks I'm just a big, gigantic pussy.
Yeah, yeah. I can relate.
All right, now you actually opened the hall pass conversation because this is kind of like that. This question is for both of you. Who was your first wrestling crush? Your first crush in professional wrestling when you were a kid looking up saying, oh, my God. Who was, and I know whatever. I'm about the same age as Corey, so I know who he's going to say. But who is it?
I'm going to have to, I just had this conversation the other day about my first crush on a human being level, which was Susanna Hoffs.
Of course,
of the Bengals. She was very important to my childhood. I'm trying to think here. Man, because I don't even count the Attitude Era because I was like a teenager at that point. I was just like a hornball like
I'll tell
every
you
kid.
who mine was. Mine was 1, 2, 3 Kid.
What? My confidence just fell through the floor.
That was, if you want me to be 1,000% honest, I love the 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Wow. Oh my God.
I love Sean Waltman, but he's not exactly.
That's when I was a kid. I mean, and then
not a lady killer.
A little bit older, like then obviously Razor Ramon. Like, are you kidding me? My dad actually wrestled him in his debut match, and I loved Razor Ramon. But if I'm being 1,000% honest, the first time I ever saw 1, 2, 3 Kid, I was like, oh, he's so cool.
I was like, I got really into ECW when I was growing up, and I think like Beulah McGillicuddy and Francine, because they weren't like the glitz and glamour.
Right.
It was kind of like, these chicks are kind of hardcore. I was really into that. I think those would probably have to be the first off the top of my head.
That's a good question. It's a good question. And I know
it really is.
After you guys get finished with this interview, if the YouTube show is canceled because of the 1, 2, 3 Kid thing, I understand.
I know. Okay, I get it. But I'm just, if I'm being 1,000% honest, I'm nothing but honest.
Sean,
I really
stay out of her DMs. Damn it.
Carmella, when he got famous, he looked like he was 12 years old.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't help it. That was just what I thought when I was a kid.
I can't look at you the same way. I didn't.
Whatever.
I never knew this.
I stand by it.
Wow.
It's fine.
I more expected yours to be 1, 2, 3 Kid than hers.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been entirely plausible.
All right. Well, this question just is. I should have asked this one earlier. Okay, so you guys are at home. There's no food in the kitchen. Carmella, you need a snack, and Corey knows exactly what you need, and he goes out to get it. What's he bringing back?
A snack?
Yeah. What's the if there's no food and you guys are what's the snack? What's the road trip snack? What? I don't fucking know. I just had to come up with
what are you bringing back for me?
I mean, road trips. So we could obviously travel a lot being on the road for WWE.
You do,
so we have the standards are always. I'm a Slim Jim guy. I need some sort of beef jerky at all times. That's my go-to. She is a little more bold, a little more brazen. She's into the pickle chips that are available.
Pickles. I love pickles.
To me, it's still a weird thing. You stop at a gas station at a Wawa or Sheetz, and you can buy a bag of pickles to eat on the road, which is kind of strange to me. But that's usually her go-to.
Yeah,
Can I tell y'all something about me?
Please.
I hate pickles, but I love the way they taste. And let me explain what I mean. Pickles by themselves. They're wet. Their texture is awful. They're green. They don't look good, and I don't want to eat them by themselves. But I'll take a handful of regular potato chips, and then I'll take a bite of pickle. I'll put them together so I can have the crunch of the chip. It's delicious.
That sounds amazing.
Do you know they have
I'm gonna give that a shot.
chips?
Yeah,
I am a piece of trash. I am a terrible human being.
I mean, you said it.
But your self-awareness is strong, which is that's the half the battle, right?
Yeah, well, I got other battles too. But anyway, doesn't matter. So I've talked about it. Tell people where they can see Corey and Carmella.
It's on WWE's official YouTube page. There's actually a playlist they put on there that has all of the videos because right now there's 5. There's 5 total right now, 5 episodes.
So you can go to just youtube.com/WWE. It'll be there. Or you can find us at WWE Graves or at Carmella WWE. All of our social media has clips and links everywhere they need to find it. So hopefully people continue to check it out. We've actually been really impressed with the feedback thus far.
Good. Well, I'm sure it's a wonderful show, and we got a couple more things to talk about before I let you get out of here.
Sure.
So it is. And I know you guys feel it like we fans feel it. I mean, it's WrestleMania season. We are swinging right towards WrestleMania. It's going to be in Dallas this year. It's going to be my first WrestleMania I ever attend. But does it up y'all's game or up your excitement to go to work when we're building to something like this, to a WrestleMania?
Definitely. There's a tangible feeling, and we almost try to talk ourselves out of it each year because it's such a busy schedule, and there are so many shows, and it seems like as soon as WrestleMania is done, here comes SummerSlam, and here's the next thing, and it's a constant cycle. but there's definitely a tangible energy even backstage at TV days now. Everything counts a little bit more. Everyone wants to step up their game a little bit. Everyone trains a little bit harder because at the end of the day, WrestleMania truly is the biggest event in live entertainment. We're going to have 2 nights. We're going to have potentially over 100,000 fans over the course of 2 nights. And everyone just wants to be at their absolute best because there are people that come out of the woodwork for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? You have your WWE fans all year round, but starting around this time of year, you have people who maybe don't watch every week like they used to, or only watch WrestleMania. It's like the Super Bowl for us. Right. But everybody steps up their game, and everyone wants to be on top because it is literally the eyes of the world are on it.
So, Corey, I asked this, or I alluded to this earlier, but it's been going around for a couple of weeks now that you have been medically cleared to return to the ring, but you aren't rushing back into it. So what's the thought process there?
Yeah, so it's basically just something that has bothered me since I was forced to retire back, I believe it's 2014 now. And I never in a million years expected to be a commentator, particularly one of the lead voices of Monday Night Raw now. That was something, if 10 years ago you would have told me that, I would have never believed you. But since then, I've really grown to love this role, and the company's been really cool about letting me sort of expand. And I have a podcast with WWE now called After the Bell, and really sort of explore what I'm capable of outside of the ring, which is something I never really paid much attention to. I was so focused on the wrestling aspect. And now I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good, comfortable position professionally, personally. My life is back where I'm on top of the world as far as that goes. And that was kind of the one missing piece of the puzzle is, man, I still never got that official WWE match, the pay-per-view match, or, I got to do the live event tours when I was still in NXT. So I got a taste of it. I was right there. And I, fell off the cliff before I got to make the jump. But it was just something that it's kind of been eating at me for the last particularly year or so, seeing Christian come back and seeing Edge come back and Daniel Bryan a few years prior. It always has made me wonder, what if? Am I able? Would I be able to do that? And so I went and started the whole testing protocol last summer, almost right after WrestleMania last year. And I went through and passed all the tests, and now it's kind of like just another weapon to have in my arsenal.
Sure.
In the event, like I said when I did the interview last week, if it helps enhance a story or helps get somebody over, or maybe that's her, maybe it makes Carmella even more hateable.
Right. To
have somebody kick my ass, anything to just sort of further the business. I don't have any sort of false pretenses that I'm going to be a champion, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to have these great epic matches. I just kind of want that taste, I just kind of want to feel that one more time.
Now, Carmella, this is for you. You've been put in a lot of big spots in WWE. You've been a very dependable wrestler on the women's division there. I just wanted to say this, because I've said this to a couple people, but I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she is in the pandemic. She started getting into WWE really big, and I always thought, I got 3 boys. They don't really care about it yet. I thought I would share it with them, but it turns out it's her who fell in love with it. And she has fallen in love with several wrestlers, but you are one of the ones that my 12-year-old girl who just came to wrestling about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, she loves you. And living through her and watching her look up to people like you is really incredible for me as a dad, and I want to thank you for that. And I know what I've just told you isn't something you haven't heard before, because there are young girls across this country that do it, but what's it feel like to hear that you guys are like affecting people like this?
It's so crazy, and it never, ever gets old. If someone comes up to me and they're almost in tears by, oh my gosh, you've helped me through this hard time in my life, or because of you, now I know how to can stand up for myself, or because of you, I'm confident. And that's what it's all about. Like, is it great to be champion? Is it great to be in these high-profile stories and be on TV and the glitz and the glam? Sure, that's all well and fine. But what ultimately matters at the end of the day is having a voice to be able to show young girls that they can do whatever it is they want. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's so true. And I'm just so grateful that I'm even given this opportunity to even help just one girl or one person, and to have that effect. I mean, sometimes I have to remind myself, oh my gosh, it's a much bigger picture than just being in a big story. There's so much more to this job, and I truly am so grateful for that.
So 2 last questions. I'll let you get out of here. The first question, I've been wondering for about 30 minutes now, 25 minutes. The piece of art on the wall behind you, did either of you do that?
No, I purchased this.
You purchased? Okay, good.
Yes.
Because my next question was going to be, which one of you bought that, and were you under the influence of some sort of drugs or alcohol when you bought it?
I was in a bar in St. Petersburg, Florida when I purchased that.
Okay,
yes, I bought it right off the wall in the bar. and I've had it ever since. I've had that thing for that was actually the first nice thing I ever bought myself. I was still in NXT, wasn't making much money, and I remember thinking like, wow, you know what? I can afford that, and I bought it, and I felt like such a rock star, thinking like I just bought art. And
we're in the basement, by the way.
Yeah,
so this is where this is hanging.
This is our little podcast. Yeah, I get to display it in the basement. I've got some more Lemmy art that I've had friends have sent to me. So
no, I like that. But the one behind you, I was actually the whole time. So the way it's that dividing line right there, I kind of thought y'all might have been in two different cities. I thought I was looking at two different. The way the line was, and it wasn't what you wanted.
It was too clean.
Yeah, it was too clean. I was like, are they together?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. No, we're here.
And last question. You've got this Corey and Carmella YouTube show. Go out and watch it. It's on WWE's main YouTube channel. I guess just the future for both of you guys is obviously you have your personal future. You have this show. You have wrestling. What does the rest of 2022 look like for you guys as you continue to build everything that you've worked for?
I mean, gosh, I feel so excited. The fact that we're about to get married, it's about to be WrestleMania, we have a new show on WWE's YouTube. I just want to keep growing and building this brand we have together. I feel it's really cheesy to say, but he truly is my best friend. And the fact that we work together, we live together, we play together, we do everything together, I just enjoy being with him, and the fact that our dynamic works and people are somehow entertained by it, like that's crazy to me. So I just hope we can continue to grow our podcasts and this brand with the YouTube channel and just be happy. That's all I want.
I'm looking to spend more quality time alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. Opposite of that. I'm leaving tonight. He's like, babe, what am I do without you tonight?
Yeah. Corey's looking to start a private bank account, maybe, do some things a little, whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys are going to be great. Listen, you guys are a delight to talk to and two of the more talented people in wrestling, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for being here.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Thank you. This was fun. This was a really good time.
Thank you.
No, I'm great. All right, so that is Corey and Carmella on WWE's main YouTube channel. I'm Brandon Walker, and this has been Rasslin.